Alright, so it's me. I am currently on my own. Alex wasn't feeling all too great. It's Saturday. We didn't have a pass for Comic-Con today, so I thought, well, it's freaking, look at this. It's so nice out. Not a cloud in the sky. Okay, maybe there's a little cloud. But it's so nice out. Why not go to the beach? So I've just taken a bus. I'm heading down to the beach now. But I thought I'd give you guys an update on just what I've been doing at Comic-Con these past couple of days. If you've been watching our channel, you've been seeing that we've put a bunch of content up, just sort of showing you guys what we've been doing. But I thought I'd just break it down a little bit more now that I actually have time to think and I've actually been able to sleep. Because every day this week has been getting up at, 6, 7 in the morning, going to bed at like 2 in the morning, not really sleeping that much, and then standing around all day, just doing awesome stuff. So, day one, Comic-Con, God, that even feels like so long ago. We just sort of spent that day walking the show floor before it got kind of crazy, and it's really cool just to see all the different comic book booths. Like, I went to PAX last year, but Comic-Con is just a whole different entity. It is enormous. I think it's like 3 football field lengths. It's just absolutely nuts. It took us hours just to go through all the different comic book stuff, and I'm not a huge comic book fan simply because I haven't really been around that medium for a long period of time. I'm just gonna cross the street. Car's coming. But it's just cool to see all these different comic book and just all these collectors who have sort of put their stuff out there. And just even the smaller artists, it's just really neat to see all the different styles. The only thing is, I don't know, the people are really helpful, but it is very difficult to sort of get into just picking up a comic book because it's so, I don't want to say disorganized, but it's a lot of boxes. They'll have different comic books in them. I was hoping to pick up some Carnage stuff from the Spider-Man series. I'm a huge fan of that, but I haven't been able to really find that specifically. But yeah, we walked around that. We went to the Mega 64 booth and actually saw Rocco's dad, Dick. Really great guy. The Mega 64 was at the Square Enix panel. They sort of crashed that. So Dick was there instead, and he was just really, supportive of Mega 64, and he even, was going to check out Roboboots stuff. After that, though, we just walked around, went to the Nintendo booth. The Nintendo has this gamer lounge, and they've got like 80 different booths set up of just Nintendo stuff. I got to play Skyward Sword, the new Zelda game for Wii, and I really liked it. When you just watch the videos of it, it is sort of easy to scoff at, the art style or just how it's similar to past Zeldas, blah, blah, blah. When you play, it's like, no, it is a very different game. I played the section where you fight the boss, Girahim, I think his name is. And it's all sort of based on sword play where you need to direct your sword because it has the Wii Motion Plus in it. And it was really challenging. I was sort of scoffing at the people in front of me who weren't able to do it. But even myself, I was having trouble with it, which is sort of a first because, I don't know, just having played so many Zelda titles, it's sort of easy to breeze through. Even a new game, it's easy to breeze through something like Twilight Princess because it's just so formulaic. Whereas this it was challenging because, he would block your attack if you attacked him a certain way. It took a while. So it's cool to see that they're actually doing something really awesome, despite it being on the Wii, with the Wii U coming out, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's cool that Nintendo's even here. What else? So I'm trying to think. I'm going to just cross it again. So yeah, Comic-Con day one, we went to, I think we only went to one panel, because we were at the, Hall H sort of holds like 1,500 people, and we thought there was a Robert Rodriguez panel going on there. He's known for, stuff like Spy Kids. And it was cool to see that he was very sort of humble in showing off his new studio, which I can't, Quick Draw Studios, I think it is, where he's actually able to produce and distribute his own work now, so he doesn't have to be held back by studios, which is cool. And he's doing, some more comic books, movies, stuff like, he's looking into properties like Conan and all that, and definitely cool. But what was really awesome was seeing afterwards, Alex and I were about to leave because we heard, next panel is E-Weekly presents Jon Favreau and Guillermo del Toro. And as we're leaving, we're like, oh my god, from Jon Favreau, Guillermo del Toro, that's awesome. So we quickly scurry up to the front of the line, and if you've seen the other videos, we've sort of talked about it. We even put some videos up. But those two guys are hilarious. They're friends in real life. Jon Favreau, better known for his recent work on, the Iron Man movies. Guillermo del Toro for Pan's Labyrinth was a big success. He's working on Pacific Rim right now, I think. No, Pacific Rim. I can't remember. I'm getting it confused with the PS3 game. But though it was just an hour of them sort of talking about their properties, because Jon Favreau is working on the Disney Magic Kingdom, Guillermo del Toro is working on a billion things, but he was talking about the Haunted Mansion. It was so cool to see him just talk about the Haunted Mansion, the ride and stuff, and he told this great story about him going into the Haunted Mansion ride at 5 in the morning by himself, and just wandering around, walking, so not on the ride, but just walking around, and examining all the stuff. And he has this thing called Bleak House, where he collects sort of all his property, all his stuff he really likes, props, things like that. And he bought a second house where she, quote, said, to fill all his stupid shit. But those guys were just so awesome to see. Just to see, these sort of big directors, very down-to-earth people. Okay, I'm going to try and cross. Is it safe? Okay, it's safe, huh? Getting pretty close to the beach. So yeah, that was day one. I got to play some cool games. I got to play Starhawk. That was awesome. There's a Guild Wars booth, which was really fantastic. And then at night, I just sort of scoured around. I ran into Jon Favreau again, actually, and he was heading to dinner. So I just sort of, shook his hand, said, fan of his work, and he took off to dinner. So that was really cool, just meeting him. Just trying to think of other people I've sort of run into on day two. So yesterday. I'm just going to keep it this way just because I'm getting close to the beach and it's really pretty. Yesterday, I went back to the Nintendo booth because they're giving out free shirts and stuff. And who do I run into at the Marriott Hotel where Nintendo's sort of section was? But Michael Emerson from Lost. He plays Benjamin Linus. He has a new show out. And he was on his way leaving because I think he just finished a panel. So I didn't want to take up too much time. He has a suitcase, but I don't know, I've been pretty good about if I run into someone, I try to stay, I don't go into fan mode and freak out. But that was, when I saw him walking, I sort of had the biggest grin of just, and he sort of saw me smile. I was so confused what to do. I was just like, hello. And he's like, just that creepy of, hello. Just a very Ben sort of Michael Emerson style of speaking. Oh man, look at this. This is beautiful. Not too busy. A lot of people probably downtown at Comic-Con. But no, Michael Emerson just shook his hand, sort of said I was a big fan of his work, and he's just a really cool guy. Still has that very creepy sort of tone about him, even in real life. But yeah, very, very cool. Afterwards, Alex and I got to meet the entire cast of Mega 64, and earlier that day we ran into Jenny Gates, and it's so cool seeing all of them. Derek, Rocco, Sean, Garrett, Eric Badur, Brian Abuchakra. They're all there, and I had met most of them last year at PAX, but it was definitely cool seeing Alex meet them for the first time. Just because when you watch these people, when you listen to their podcast for just years, and then you finally get to meet them in real life, it is sort of surreal, just because you don't know what to expect. You feel like you know so much about these people and their lives already, and yet they know nothing about you. So it's a very bizarre sort of connection you have with them, where it's like you feel like you're friends, but at the same time, they have no idea who you are. But they're great guys. We ran into them later that night, and they actually told us about the Mexican restaurant because living in Canada, we don't really have any good Mexican food. Let me just check if this video's still running. I feel like I'm rambling on. Already almost at 10 minutes, so I'll stop this soon. Maybe I'll do a bit more later. But I just sort of want to talk about a couple other panels we saw. Oh man, look at those waves. Ah, yes, it's so nice. these pylons are for, though. Maybe it's a road or something.